Hello and welcome to this episode of In the Headlights. Today, we'll be taking a look at a car that is known for its signature rotary engine. We have the Mazda RX-8. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to be notified of all our future uploads. The Mazda RX-8 was first produced in 2003. It's meant to be a replacement to its elder brother, the RX-7. However, due to stricter emission standards, this car ceased production in 2012. This car comes in 4 transmission variants: the 4-speed automatic, the 6-speed automatic, the 5-speed manual, and the 6-speed manual. Of course, this car here is a 6-speed automatic and it's not the fastest, but it does run pretty well. The RX-8 is meant to be a sports coupe. With its wide stance, large bonnet and prominent wheel arches, it still looks good in today's standards, considering its age. The entire car kind of screams attention, and it kind of is a hit or miss, but for me personally, I like it a lot. Furthermore, this car is in sparkling purple, which kind of amplifies it. This car is covered in striking purple, but if you're someone like me who don't like loud colours, you can look for our friends at Voss Automotive. With a keen understanding of vinyl wraps, paintwork, and custom automotive bodywork, Voss is your #1 option in giving your car a 360-degree transformation without breaking the bank. So, as we look under the hood, we can take a look at this 1.3-litre Wankel rotary engine in all of its glory. There's no superchargers or turbochargers. This is just a mere 1.3-litre naturally aspirated engine. But don't let that fool you, because this engine packs 238 horsepower stock from the factory. In case anybody doesn't know what a Wankel rotary engine is, it basically is a Dorito-shaped rotor that rotates in a circular motion to produce energy. You don't have your usual engine components such as your pistons and your crankshafts, which makes the engine more lighter due to the lack of components. Overall, this engine also sits much lower in the car, which gives the car a lower center of gravity, which improves its handling. Moving on to the side of the car, this car looks like a 2-door coupe, but in actual fact, it has 4 doors. Let me show you why. The rear 2 doors are actually suicide doors, which means that you can only access them when you open the front 2 doors. Pretty cool! Moving on to the rear of the car comes with a stock spoiler from the factory. But as you can see here, the owner has changed it to a carbon fiber boot and a carbon fiber wing. For the rear taillights, it does look simple and attractive, which complements the entire vehicle. Moving on to the boot space, it is a boot. It has only about 290 litres of space, and you can go to your weekend grocery shopping occasionally, but don't expect much. The RX-8 is definitely one of the most iconic cars of the 2000s, and it is also the last of the rotary-engined cars. Of course, Mazda designers have tried their best to put in as much rotary-designed cues in the car in its stock form. Some examples include in the rear diffuser, the front bumper, and even in the seats themselves. If you want to protect your car, you can use 3K Defense from our friends at KGC Workshop. 3K Defense is established since 2016 and it is customized for Singapore's weather, providing you with the most suitable coating for our climate to protect and shine your car. Moving on to the interior of the car, let's begin by entering the back seat. Firstly, we have to open the front door, followed by the rear door, and then we can take a look at how all 1.85 meters of me enter the rear back seat. Well, surprisingly, around the back, it actually has quite a bit of leg room and headroom for me, and I can see myself sitting here for long periods as well. So for the rear of the car, the transmission tunnel actually runs all the way around back, and it actually functions as an armrest, and also it has the cup holders for the rear passengers. That's a plus. In terms of the interior, it definitely doesn't feel cheap by any means, and everything is well reach of the driver. Also, the transmission tunnel runs all the way backwards of the car, and it does take away some legroom from the driver as well, because the engine sits further back towards the center of the car. Moving on to the gauge cluster of the car, we have the center tachometer right in the middle, followed by the digital speedometer. The tachometer revs all the way up to 9,000 RPM, and you have your vital information such as your fuel gauge, your water temperature, and also your oil pressure sensor, which is a plus. The seat also do have quite a bit of bolstering to hold you in place when you're going around the bends. This car is also designed more for the drive, so let's take this car out and see how it drives. So we are finally driving the RX-8. And of course, as you know, the RX-8 is a rotary power engine, so there's definitely some characteristics of the engine that can be felt, such as how you have your power at the higher end of the rev range. So let's take a listen at the Rotary-Engined. Wow, the engine is actually pretty peppy for its age, and I would say the engine power does come in at around the 5000 RPM range, as for Rotary-Engined it's known that for their lower end it tend to be a bit sluggish as well. So as we mentioned before, this car engine actually sits further backwards and lower in the car, which means that you do lose a bit of leg room, but you get a better center of gravity, and in turn you get better handling for this car as well. Adding on, this car is also rear wheel drive, which means that you can drift this car if you want to. Of course, this car is not comparable to something like the RX-7, which is the elder brother with a turbocharged rotary engine, but it's actually surprisingly peppy for what it is. For this car, the owner also did put in suspension and some strut bars, so the car actually does feel pretty stable around the bends, as it feels very planted. Yup, it does actually feel really planted, and this gives me a lot of confidence as well to push the car. I would say that it's good to have a manual version of this car, but the automatic version of this car actually shifts pretty quickly as well. So for a car like this, you definitely need protection, and for that, you can use SPC Lubricants, where protection is everything. As fun as the RX-8 might be, it does receive quite a bit of negative press due to the engine. However, if you're buying a car like this, do set aside some money in order to maintain it well. If you have a well-maintained RX-8, you will definitely have as much fun as me with this high-revving, practical sports coupe. In order to drive a rotary-powered car like this, you will need insurance, and for that, we have DirectAsia. Being the only direct insurer with the highest NCD, lifetime repair guarantee, and flexible coverage, DirectAsia got your car covered so that you can have a greater peace of mind for the moments that matter. Because what drives you matters most. Get a quote now at directasia.com or call 665 5555 today. Thank you for watching this episode of In the Headlights. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next episode.
Motorist.